hello, all my beautiful and wonderful, amazing, shining, glimmering friends from the internet. I am so happy to be here with you again on another beautiful, wonderful Tuesday morning, and or whenever you happen to be listening to this episode. And I hope whenever you do happen to be listening to this episode, that it can help motivate the force, the driving force that may brighten your week or your day or whatever it is that you happen to be experiencing at the moment. I'm super excited to be back here with y'all again today. So welcome to the Reddit Asks Us podcast, the podcast where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, please, please, please leave us a rating. You have no idea how much it helps the show and how much it spreads. And if you enjoy the show, then why not show some support for the show? And I don't mean to say that in a guilty way. I'm not trying to guilt trip you. That kind of sounded a little whack there. I mean to say, if you enjoy the show, it goes a little can do a lot in terms of rating the show. It helps get the show spread, and it encourages other people to listen to the show, especially if you like it. Maybe other people will like it too. So please go ahead and do that. I would appreciate that very, very, very much. Now, again, to promote this new Spotify feature, which is awesome. I want to encourage anyone who's not listening on Spotify to please go over and listen on Spotify. Remember, you can listen on Spotify without a membership. It's free to listen to episodes on Spotify of podcasts, and you can download them as well. So if you want to listen to this on the bus ride to work or on a plane, or, I mean, it's a little short for a plane, but in case you have a 30, 40-minute plane ride, you want to go on somewhere, you can download an episode on Spotify for free. You can answer this week's Reddit question by clicking the description of the episode, and below the description you should see to the right as a white icon. You should see the question, and to the right is a white icon that says reply, and you can reply to this week's question. And it's a feature that I'm really excited about, just because it can help boost engagement within the community and really get everybody talking and helping to participate within the podcast. Because again, I don't really like to think of this as my show. I like to think of this as our show and something that we can all participate in. So not only can I read off, the Redditor stories, but I can read off your stories, and every listener of this podcast has a story to share. And it's so fun when I can read those out. It's so cool that you guys submit those answers every week, because it warms my heart. It really does. And I just want to also say, getting the housekeeping out of the way, I also just want to say another massive thank you. This week's episode has almost amassed 250 downloads. That is insane, you guys. That is, like, saying it out loud doesn't even feel real. Like, 250 downloads in a single week is utterly just insanity. Like, how does that even happen? Like, I gotta be so grateful. I am grateful to the very edges of the universe where matter and the laws of physics as we know them completely deteriorate and turn into just uncertainty. That is how thankful I am to the farthest reaches of the galaxies of the universe and to all that is known by humankind. I love each and every single one of you, and I am so that you decide to tune into the show every week. It's really exciting to see that, and it lets me know that that people are enjoying the show. So without further ado, why don't we head right into it? So last week's episode, we got some replies here. Last week's episode was, what was the biggest lie you ever believed? So we have Toby, and Toby says that the Tooth Fairy and Santa were real, and that there are monsters under my bed. Doesn't really seem like much is getting past Toby. That's the biggest lie you've ever believed? That's the biggest one. I feel like I've believed bigger lies than that. I feel like there's a little bit more out there that have gone past me, but Toby's a straight shooter. All right, we don't want to mess with Toby here. Toby's he's got his head screwed on straight. Okay, he's a no ifs, ands, or buts individual. All right, as that one Instagram video would be, Krish, what are you laughing for? What are you laughing for? I'm serious. I'm serious. No, I don't do if, ands, buts, or maybes. I do absolutes. All right, I do absolutes. I mean, if your aunt had balls, she'd be an uncle, but she doesn't, so she's not. You know what I'm trying to say? If you guys have ever seen that video, look it up. Look it up. Chris, what are you laughing for? Video. The guy with the Scouse accent. That's Toby right there. Doesn't do if, ands, buts, or maybes. He does absolutes. But, you know, I feel like to a certain extent, you know, like when you're younger, you don't necessarily really... Like, people will tell you that Santa isn't real, but I feel like when I was told that as a kid, I was kind of just like, I mean, he can't. I mean, it depends on how young you're told, but I remember being told probably around like 9, and I was just like, well, I mean, it's a little bit of a bummer to kind of know for sure, but at the same time, logistically, doesn't really make sense. Why does everybody get very different gifts? You know, and that very much range in value. You know, that seems a little suspect to me. It seems like, well, why does Santa seem to care more about the rich children and doesn't really seem to give much of a fuck about the kids who are poor? You know, doesn't Santa just kind of seems to, you know, neglect those households? You know, Santa's deeply classist. Santa is just brutally classist. You know, that's the one thing about Santa. You know, eats his cookies. Gotta love the cookies. You know, he's a big on festivities. But boy, is that guy classist. He just hates the poor. Doesn't like them. Wants to lower teacher salaries. Wants to lower those salary teachers. Lower their salaries. Okay, let's be real here. What do we really need teachers for? Lower those salaries, okay? It's it's an abomination, really. Santa's, you know, it's just he's unbelievably bigoted and classist. But that's neither here nor there. Next one comes from Jameson Johnson. My biological mother was in jail, but told me she was in a different state on vacation. I was 7 then. After a year, I was getting skeptical. She kept saying she was going to visit countless times. You know, all on the phone. You know, you FaceTime her maybe. She doesn't look any more tan. It's like, Mom, you keep saying that you've been vacationing in California. It's really nice there. You honestly look paler. And you're always dressed in the same clothes. What's up with that? Why every time do we FaceTime, you're always dressed in the same clothes? Seems a little sus to me. And yeah, like, you honestly, vacations are supposed to revitalize people. Mom, you look worse. Like, Mom, like, a lot worse. Like, it actually seems, yeah, like, things are getting worse. Yeah, I'm starting to think this whole vacation thing is bullshit. Maybe just a little bit of bullshit there. You know, you think you're looking for a diamond and you end up finding bullshit. But it seems it's kind of seeming what the situation is going. But I got to give you credit, Jameson, though. I'm telling you right now, 7 years old, I don't know if I would have caught on to that. Don't know if I would have caught on to that. I probably would have been still believing that. You know, I probably would have been still believing. I'm just like, she loves to vacation. Yeah, just been on a constant one, you know, since I was, pretty much since I was born, really, honestly. Yeah, she's addicted to vacation. You know, some people have their vices, right? Some people it's booze. You know, some people it's, you know, weed, you know, coke, you know, heroin. My mom loves to vacation. Just can't stay out of that sun. Loves it. Just loves it. Goes so far as to just neglect her children to love that sun. But she loves it. You know, who am I to tell her she can't do it, right? Who am I to say? Oh, Mom. Classic mom. Classic mom right there. All right. So, yeah, as you can probably see from the title, this one is a little bit more specific, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. So this week's question is, surgeons/doctors of Reddit, what's the dumbest thing patients have lied about? So in this week's question, if you want to answer this question, if you or somebody you know has lied to a doctor about something, what did you lie about? And how ridiculous was it? Or how dumb was it? I feel like everyone's a little shameful when they talk to their doctor, especially about things that are a little personal, things that are a little private. Like I said this, I was talking about this earlier with a friend, and I said that, like, I think doctors are viewed as like we think in our head doctors are like these authority figures, which to a certain extent they are in terms of like how much they know, and they carry a little bit more weight in our society, but they don't really have any power over you. You know what I mean? They can't make you take your medication, right? I mean, they do have some sort of power over you to a certain extent, but I mean, they're just normal people. Especially if you're a normal person, doctor's not going to send you to jail, all right? And if you haven't done anything illegal. But I think we feel general sense of shame around doctors because we kind of think that they're like police officers or something. So we don't want to let them know that we speeding? Hell no. Definitely didn't do that. Not me. Couldn't be me. I'm a moral citizen, okay? All right, and I'm going to come clean, guys. I did actually record this episode previously, and I realized that I didn't do my due diligence, and there was a loud buzz throughout the whole thing, which was very unfortunate. So I decided, probably I'm going to read off some of the similar comments, but I'm going to read off some different comments from the episode that I previously recorded. Not that any of you would know that, but I just want to preface the podcast by saying I unfortunately recorded the episode, but there was a giant buzz throughout the whole thing, which was my fault. So, sorry for that, folks. All right, first comment here comes from Malice1543. Not a doctor, but inpatient care nonetheless. Number 1. Guy comes in between 17, 19 years old for pebble hits his penis. Pretty odd. He said he was doing yard work when the tool knocked a pebble into his penis. He went to check it, and now it was making pus. Oh. Nurse clarified that that he was wearing pants. Denies sexual history. He stands by that he got hit on his penis by a rock through his pants that made him produce pus and chlamydia. Oh my God. Doc, I've been doing some research, and it turns out that you can get chlamydia from rocks, from pebbles, How crazy is that? It's a fairly new discovery. I know some guys who work at the local community college, and they've been doing some studies, so they showed me their preliminary results, and yeah, it's these pebbles, man. I think the chlamydia cases around the area might be might be more to blame there, Doc. Might be a little bit more to blame than just STIs. You know what I'm saying? Because STI, sex, that's immoral. All right, that is immoral. Okay, we're talking about moral things here. Gardening, moral. All right, I was doing my moral work, my righteous work, gardening, so that I can provide for my family. What do I get? What do I get for that? What do I get for being a virtuous person? Pebble in my penis. Okay? Penis pebble. How do you feel about that? Right? Good things happen to the worst things. Bad things happen to the best people. Okay? Horrible things always happen to the best people. I can't control it, okay, Doc? I really can't. And I don't want to debate this with you, but it's a penis pebble. All right? And it's really fiery, very itchy. It's brutal. I got to tell you, it's brutal. But you know what? These penis pebbles, we got to do something about this, Doc. All right? We got to scour the fields looking for the penis pebble. All right? Chlamydia is going to become bigger than COVID. I'm telling you that right now. Chlamydia 2. Pebble penis. Number 2. Guy says that he was forced to do meth or something similar at a store. Came in because he thought he was dying. Classic. Ugh. Can't tell you how many times I've done this. Walk into the grocery store, Sobeys, down the street. The workers there are persistent. I'll tell you that. Tell you one thing about those Sobeys workers is, wow, do they really, really push it on you? First, they're all like, buy a fucking, crackers, cheese, crackers, buy it, all right? Buy that shit, all right? And they're convincing you to buy all this stuff, like, oh, you're going to need these spices, you're going to need this and this and that. And then before you know it, your cart's full, right? And you can't even afford half the stuff in there. And then the audacity, okay? The audacity behind these people. As soon as you get to the checkout counter, they're like, listen, I know you're going to buy a lot of stuff today, but you're not leaving this establishment until you smoke this meth right here. It's Sobeys policy, all right? Sobeys policy. You gotta do the meth. Come on, you're gonna come in here and buy groceries and not do meth? Are you fucking serious? What? Come on. Are you fucking serious? Everyone who buys groceries knows that. Wow. So yeah. You're not even forced to do this, okay? I know you want to do this. I'm not forcing you to do anything, okay? Sobeys policy, but also, come on. It's what everyone's thinking. Number 3, a fun bonus. A frequent flyer comes in for his stomach hurting from eating this chili he had while continuing to eat the chili in the lobby. It's just, chili's that good. That's how you know a chili's good. That's how you know it's, that chili's, they got the best recipe in town. I mean, it's going to make you just explode from every hole that you possibly have. But you can't put it away. You just can't do it. It's impossible. Impossible. All right, next comment comes from Drillmagus. A woman comes in to emerge with complaints of vaginal discharge and discomfort. Pelvic exam initially reveals significant yeast infection, but there appears to be a foreign body stuck in her vagina. Is there something stuck inside? No. I don't know what's in there. A speculum examination reveals a very soft mandarin orange. Peel still on. Oh, that. Oh, yeah, we heard it would improve our fertility. You can't make this shit up. Come on, doc. Again, I'm starting to feel like I know more than doctors. Okay, I'm starting to feel like their degrees, their MDs, it's a bunch of bullshit. Okay? Come on, doc. Who hasn't come in here with a yeast infection or anything and you found the classic mandarin orange? Come on, doc. And it's like, how do you miss that? Like, you're like, oh my god. I was literally looking for that orange this morning. Can I actually have that orange? Oh my god, I'm so hungry. Oh, I can't believe it. I was searching for my breakfast. I could have sworn I put it out, all right? And I always have a mandarin orange for breakfast, right? Mandarin oranges, very small ones. Well, not too small, but, decent sized. Gotta love my mandarin oranges. And I had this one, right? I had this mandarin orange, and then it just disappeared. And I didn't have my mandarin orange. And I was like, okay. Am I losing my mind here, doc? Should I be coming in for dementia? Alzheimer's? Am I losing my mind? Where could I have put this mandarin orange? And then I was like, oh my god, Tiffany, your vagina. Oh my god. I'm so embarrassed, doc. I am just, sorry, lapse in thought there. Okay, lapse in recall. You know what I mean? I can't believe I forgot that. Silly me. Just, 1 second and you're like, where did your orange go? The next second it's like, oh, it's in my vagina. Wow. Just, that's classic me. Classic me. I'm like that sometimes. Zimmer199 comments and says, I had a guy insist that someone else put cocaine and heroin in his urine, even after I tried to move on with the conversation. Listen, I don't care that you did heroin and cocaine. I just need you to be honest with me because, you have a pretty serious surgery coming up, and the medication that we want to put you on, if you're on any of these drugs, can literally stop your heart. Doc, I'm literally telling you, somebody put the cocaine and the heroin in the toilet after I peed and just mixed it around in there and then took the sample, or no, even just like it could have happened even before that. I think one of your guys, there's got to be somebody in on it. It's one of your guys, Doc. You know this. There's been a bad egg. You knew there was a bad egg, okay, working here at this establishment, all right? This doctor's office. You knew you had a bad egg, all right? There's a rat in the kitchen, okay? I'm probably not the first to tell you here, Doc, all right? But I've had enough. We've had enough of this, all right? We need to cut this shit off, all right? Somebody put that cocaine there, all right, and heroin, and it was not me, okay? Do I look like I do drugs? Do I look like I'm addicted and have a crippling obsession that I can't stop thinking about? And I'm so obsessed with it that all I can think about it is that right now. And I'm just itching so that I can just end this conversation and just go do more. You think I'm that type of guy? Really, Doc? Wow. Says a lot about you. What, do you own a rat house here? It's a rat house? Come on, Doc. You knew you had a bad egg, and I found it. All right? We gotta find this motherfucker. We gotta pin this fucker down. All right? This isn't a game anymore, Doc. Messing with my piss? My piss. You can mess with your piss all you want, all right? But I will not have somebody put cocaine in my piss. You know what it could have been, Doc? You know what it could have been? I'm so stupid, Doc. I am so dumb. I think they put the Coke back in Coke. I think there's cocaine back inside Coca-Cola. Or I must have gotten a dirty batch. Those bastards. Bastards they are. Coca-Cola. Oh, I wish I would have known. Just putting that Coke in the Coke. They think they're sly, hey, Doc? They really do. Wow. Can't believe it. Unbelievable. We need to sue. We need to sue, okay? Let's take this to the highest possible level. All right? I can't have people thinking that I did Coke. You know, sir, I'm the only one who really needs to know that. So, in case you're worried about people finding out, you know, we don't post results on our Facebook page. Doc, I know. We need to sue Coke. This is bigger. This is bigger than my diagnosis, all right? We need to sue Coke. Coca-Cola is putting the Coke back in Coke. And I have proof. It's in my piss. The proof is in the piss, Doc. The proof is in the piss. Reply from, hey folks, I'm... Oh, come on, don't make me say this. Hey folks, I'm tit liquid. Like, gross. Come on, guys. Why is everyone so horny on Reddit? Why the fuck is everyone so horny? Like, jerk off. I don't, like, what? Had someone say that their roommate used a spoon while cooking meth, and that he ate cereal with that spoon later, and that's why his piss popped hot for amphetamines. Wow. Roomie, did you use my spoon for the crack again? Come on. You know better. What? Now I just tested positive for methamphetamines. Oh my goodness. Wow. I can't believe you, roomie. Using my spoon, my cereal spoon for crack cocaine? Wow. Or for meth? Really? My roommate's got a big meth-making problem. You know. He loves it, though. Just can't stop it. You know, really can't stop it, actually. You know, some people, you know, it's weird. He kept telling me that it's just like, you know how some people make their own alcohol? Some people grow weed. He's like, well, I make meth. I'm like, okay, seems like an interesting hobby. Not really my thing, but, you know. Then he has the audacity to use my spoon for his meth? Okay, buddy. That's like somebody using their jug when they're making wine. That's my jug, bro. And now I'm going to test positive for alcohol because of the residue on the jug? For real, bro? Wow. Dirty. That's a dirty move. Bad friend, bro. What the fuck, bro? Seriously, bro? Meth? Now I'm on meth. I'm on meth now. I'm addicted. It's fucked. All right. Next one comes from Cybaris. Guy came in for a wound on his lower leg that he said came from a biking accident. X-ray revealed a bullet inside his ankle joint. The wound was from shooting himself by accident while holding a gun. Still don't know how he didn't fracture anything. Well, you think the streets are tough, right? Yeah. Try the woods, all right? Try mountain biking. You know how many stray bullets I've caught on the trails, all right? There's grizzlies out there, poisonous mushrooms and plants, all right? Tree branches falling on you, bullets just flying around. The woods are a dangerous place, bro. Probably more dangerous than Afghanistan or something. All right? Like you think that's bad? Okay? You think ISIS is bad? You ever been to the woods? Sounds like someone who's never been to the woods. Sounds like somebody who's never been to on a biking accident. Literally caught the stray last week. Biking accident. Boom. It's real out there, man. Shit's real. Shit's real as hell. You don't know you're hard till you've been on the biking trails. I'll tell you that. All right? That's the test of a real man right there. Biking on those trails, bullet right in the ankle. Not even flinch. All right, next one comes from Materia Mazda. One dude lied about being paralyzed after lumbar puncture. Get a call from nurse. Patient says he can't move his legs following a lumbar puncture, spinal tap. I called the team that did the procedure, and they assured me there was no indication of this sort of injury happening during the procedure, but agreed with my plan to get an urgent MRI. I go to examine him, and nurse says she thinks he moved one of his feet. Next thing I know, he says he can actually move his legs again, but they are feeling weird. Then this weird feeling turns into intense pain, and he asks for intravenous narcotics, Dilaudid. And I tell him no, because this story makes no sense. By God, it was a miracle, I tell you, that this man walked himself right out of the hospital after I refused the IV narcotics. Also, the MRI was normal. Doc, I think you're gonna have to shoot me up. I'm seriously in intense pain right now. This is the most pain I've literally ever felt in my entire life. All right, and if I hate to say it, okay, I really hate to say this because I know that these drugs are useful. All right, and they need to go to patients who need them. And I'm normally, honestly, Doc, I have a high pain tolerance. Okay, normally I can go. I can go a while with an 8, with an 8 on the scale. All right, I'm a pretty resilient guy, to be honest. It's kind of my MO, really. But Doc, I hate to say it. I really hate to say it, but you're gonna have to put me on that Dilaudid. I'm gonna need to just be zooted. All right, I'm gonna need to zoot out of here and leave this earth and never return. All right, I'm gonna need to shot up into space and left there for, a couple eternities, maybe. Just pump it in me because I'm not lying, Doc. Who am I going to lie, right? Come on. Pain? Seriously? Pain? Pain is nothing to me. All right? I eat pain for breakfast. I literally eat pain for breakfast. I swallowed 50 nails this morning. I eat pain for breakfast. Okay? I shot myself in the foot. I eat pain for breakfast. Okay? All right, I eat on a consistent basis live fire ants. I'm literally built different, okay? But this time, Doc, I'm serious. So just shoot it up. All right, just put it in me. I need to escape. I really got to escape this one. This one's the one. All right, I wouldn't lie. All right, next one comes from Giorgio Jungle. Patient. I haven't drank alcohol in months. Patient's family. It's true. I've been with her the whole time. Me. Ma'am, your alcohol level is 325. Patient. Impossible. I would never lie to you. Are you kidding? What? Oh my God. Who? All right, guys. Who got me drunk? Come on. Who got me drunk? Who injected me with drunk? All right. Fess up. It's not funny anymore. Okay. I got the joke. Everyone laughs. Ha 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 ha. All right. Time to fess up. Who did this? All right. This is just ridiculous. Even my mom says so, right? as she's literally pointing a gun right at her mom. Right, Mom? Right? Right about that? Right? Yeah, yeah. She hasn't done any drugs, doctor. Any drug, any alcohol, any drugs. Did I say drugs, Mom? Did I say drugs, Mom? What are they gonna test me for drugs now, Mom? Really? Because you said that? She doesn't know what she's talking about, does she? Do you, Mom? Do you know what you're talking about? No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Help me. It's like mouthing, help me. All right, next one comes from Grant Caps. One of my favorite things I wrote my first year out of medical school. Please note, patient has stated multiple times that he wants to leave and would leave against medical advice. He asked multiple times whether he could eat and stating he is hungry. Explained to patient that we would like to start a full liquid diet first, and if he tolerated it well, would transition to regular foods. However, patient ordered Chinese food delivery instead. Then, when patient was complaining of a headache, was given Tylenol for the headache, patient stated that this did not help him. His sister at bedside went to nearby pharmacy and bought aspirin. Sister did did ask whether she could give him the aspirin. She was told not to give him the aspirin. Supposedly, she did not. For context, the patient had a catastrophic GI bleed from taking too much aspirin. As she's literally feeding him the aspirin. So you're saying this? I shouldn't be doing this. That this is gonna kill him? But, Doc, look at his face. He loves it. Come on, Doc. Just a couple more aspirin tablets. Just please, just a few more aspirin. He loves it so much. Just a couple more, doctor. Just a few more aspirin. He loves them. He's literally bleeding. Oh, holy fuck. Give me another aspirin. Oh, I need it. I'm in pain. Depressed Salmon replies and says, catastrophic is one of those descriptive words that you just don't want to hear in a medical setting. I feel like you don't really want to hear that word at all. You know, like no one ever says, that, they had a catastrophic time doing anything. Went skydiving, bro. Shit was catastrophic. Yeah. My buddy fucking died. It's like, holy shit. Oh my God. Catastrophic sounds horrible. Even if you say like a catastrophic paper cut, that sounds like you bled out. That sounds like you had a paper cut and you literally bled out all over the floor. All right. Next one coming from Topher B. Deal. It's not so much patient lie as it is me being dumb. Inexperienced, and uncomfortable asking necessary questions. I had a hypothetical patient during residency that was very manly, veteran, and was admitted for rectal bleeding. He was in the age where it was more than likely colon cancer, so I didn't think it was necessary to ask for sexual history. Folks at this particular establishment were known at times to be homophobic, and I had been yelled at by patients previously for asking, do you have sex with men, women, or both? It ate away at my conscience, though. So I went back in absurdly nervous and asked him. He answered, son, I'm as gay as a rainbow. I've been at the bathhouse for the last couple nights, but I wasn't sure how it would go over to admit it. That's when the bleeding started. It was a very important lesson for me. Yeah, that's probably something you pretty sure should ask, just making sure, right? Because you don't want to miss something like, I don't know, rectal bleeding, just because somebody got angry at you for asking if they were gay. I don't want to be Mr. Doctor over here, but definitely seems like a, important question to ask, right? So you're treating him for colon cancer and you're giving him chemotherapy and he's like, dog, listen, I don't think I need chemo for this. He's like, well, you're definitely not gay. That's for sure, right? You wouldn't want someone to think that, right? You wouldn't want somebody to think that, right? Obviously, right? You wouldn't want. No. Of course you're not. Why would I even say that? It's so dumb. Obviously, no one wants to do that. Doc, you gotta stop putting me on this chemo. I'm losing my hair, Doc. My organs are stopping functioning. No, I think this is the right treatment. I think this is the right way to go. Physical Witness comments and says, Physical Witness 992 comments and says, I had a lady tell me she had no idea how she got a rash on her face. I left the room, report to the MD, and when I come back in with the doctor, she looked at me and said, I didn't think you'd be coming back in the room, and then proceeded to confess that she'd been cheating on her husband and thought she had herpes. She did not have herpes. See, and that's the thing about those residency doctors. You can't trust them with anything, all right? Regular doctor? Okay, now we're talking, all right? We got some credibility there. All right, now we're getting to the serious, the real people, all right? Residency doctors? Are you kidding? Are you serious? They're not even, what are they? What is a residency doctor anyways? What are you, medical doctor of Hogwarts? And potion making? Yeah, right. Like I'm going to tell you anything. Residency doctors are known for lying. Come on, everyone knows that. Stupid. Next one comes from Jassol37. My little brother was a nurse for about a decade. He said many times that people stick anything up their butts. From light bulbs to hairbrushes to a golf shoe. At first it's hilarious. Then after a year or so, it's not funny because you've seen way too many distended buttholes. Then after a decade or so, it starts to get funny again because you think you've seen everything. And then one day, a 45-year-old man is driven to the hospital by his wife, and he has a golf shoe up his ass, and he told his wife that he and the boys were golfing, and he slipped in the locker room and got it rammed up there completely. Completely disregarding the fact that the part of the shoe that is inside him is covered in Vaseline. Well, that's all about... Clearly, you don't know anything about the game of golf. Okay, clearly, you're just not a golf person. All right? Vaseline on the shoe, obviously that's a... Who doesn't put Vaseline on their shoe? You want to have a good swing, right? It's literally all in the Vaseline. All right, if you want to, okay, sure, you can just absolutely hammer that ball 300 yards. All right, you want to try hitting 400? Try putting some Vaseline on your shoe. And it's just an unfortunate circumstance that I slipped and fell in the locker room, and it just went halfway up my butt. Okay. Now, how about we stop being so presumptuous, okay? How about you head out there? Why don't I take you out on the green there, Doc? Right? Why don't I take you out to the fairway? Show you how it's really done. I bet you I'd improve your swing by even putting just a dollop, just a tiny little bit of Vaseline on your shoe. Wow, idiot! Clearly doesn't know anything about golf. All right, let's do maybe one more comment. And then we'll wrap it up for this episode. Liberty for You says their identity: insurance fraud using a friend's relative's insurance card. As a resident in a very large East Coast hospital, I was tasked to figure things out when the blood bank called and said their blood type changed. When confronted with getting the wrong blood that may kill them, they almost always tell the truth. This type of fraud has also resulted in people who have been dead, autopsied, raising from the dead, and appearing in a clinic or ER. What the hell? Oh, yeah, because I guess if they stole someone's identity, they'd, raise from the dead. Yeah. Just so you know, in case you're lying about this, that the blood types doesn't match up, I'm pretty sure that's one thing that you're not going to mix that up. You're not just going to be like, oh my God, Doc, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot I wasn't A negative. I can't believe I'm literally B positive. I always get those two mixed up. A, B, positive, negative. It's just classic misunderstanding, Doc. It's just I'm bad with letters, with numbers. Just not my thing. Not really my thing. Some people are good with that stuff, but not really for me. I've always kind of struggled with it. So, that's just classic mistakes. Sorry, Doc. My bad. I'll take the fall for that one. I'll definitely do that. So it's still free, right? This blood transfusion that I'm getting, still free, right? Just got my blood type wrong. Easy one. Oh no. Classic me. Okay, let's wrap it up there for you all, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Reddit Asks Us podcast. I am your host, Luke Dick, and I want to just thank each and every single one of you again and just shout out all of you for listening to the podcast. I'm so happy that you tune in each and every week to listen to the show. It's just it's really a privilege for me to have you as my audience, and for each and every one of you to be so just amazing. So thank you all so much. I love you, and I will see you next week. Also, for the next episode, I won't be reading out comments from this week's episode because I'm going on vacation. And I'm pre-recording an episode, but I'll mention that in the next episode. But I just won't be reading out any comments. But please feel free. Please do comment what you've ever lied to a doctor about, or know somebody who's lied to a doctor about anything. All right, I'll see y'all in the next one. And peace. Love you. Bye.